Hello everyone, welcome to my 1cc no-death run of Life Force on the NES, aka Salamander in Japan. It was an arcade port, actually, that came to the NES and the Famicom in 1988, I believe, as it says right there. And one of my most nostalgic shmups and the first shmup I ever played, so this has been a 30-year endeavor here for me, and I never really took it seriously about trying to beat it without dying until about a week ago when I did my most nostalgic gaming vid, and this game came up, and I played it with my niece recently, and that kind of spurred me into action to get this going. I'd like to do a two-player 1cc in the future, but that involves getting someone else in the same house as me to record at the same time. So we'll see if that happens, but it's not going to happen quite yet, but I'm hoping to at some point in the future. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Life Force. Here we go. Yes, the music takes me back. Like most Gradius games, this is basically a Gradius game. You get as many power-ups as you possibly can. I managed to get all of them here at the beginning. I start out with double laser and missile. As you can see, the laser helps me shoot through these guys quicker once I get it. I go that route because, I don't know, that's what I decided to do. Missile's extremely useful, probably the most useful thing in this whole game is missile, I would say, just for taking out enemies everywhere, especially double missile. You can upgrade all your weapons can be upgraded twice, I believe, except the shield and speed. Speed you can upgrade, I'm not sure how many times, but quite a few. I get 2 speeds. I started off with 2 speeds. 2 seems to be right about the right amount for me, I think. I'm sure some people like to play with more or less. I couldn't imagine less, but yeah, definitely more, I'm sure. But 2 is just the right amount for me. We got these little hands, which are actually a sprite that they recycle to the boss up here. As you'll see, the brain golem coming up. And you can see I'm just trying to grab as many power-ups as I can, which is what you always do in these games. I think I get pretty much all the way powered up on this stage, except for the only thing I don't get is the shield. I wait on the shield till stage 2, because I'm not going to need it on this stage. I definitely need it in the later stages. I guess the real way to do this game on a 1cc would be without a shield, but I'm not quite that daring yet. Maybe someday. No shield run would be kind of cool. But for now, I take my shields where I can get them. An interesting fact about this stage is you can see where it closes you off right there. That's a classic Gradius move right there. That usually happens at the end of the game in Gradius. And actually it does happen in this game too. But yeah, the whole close you off trick. Every Gradius game pretty much has that dirty trick they play on you. But the interesting fact about this stage is that it's basically a remixed version of the final stage on Gradius 2. It's very similar in a lot of ways. Reuses some of the same sprites. You got the closed-off area there, the disappearing, reappearing terrain. It's pretty interesting. Those two games are very similar. They share a lot of the same resources and would make for a great comparison video, which maybe I'll do one day. Now we got these walls which close in behind you, depending on how fast you shoot them. You can see I usually take the top route and I just try to get through it as best I can. And that's it for stage 1, coming up till the boss here. And I am, well, not completely maxed out yet, but I save the option here for right when I get to the boss. Yeah, here comes the brain golem, I believe is his name. Yep, brain golem. And one thing about Life Force, they make you sit and wait for the bosses. I guess it was kind of a dramatic thing, maybe. Although when you're trying to 1cc a game, it gets tedious, having to sit here and wait. The Egyptian boss later on is the worst with this. This takes forever. But yeah, here comes his arms. Yep, here they come. And then he starts moving. I got my second option, as you can see. Now, basically all you gotta do is you just circle around him once, and if you got fully powered up lasers, man, just get right in his face when he opens his eye and he's dead. Like, if you got the pea shooter, it takes a lot longer, but with fully powered up lasers, man, what was that, 2 seconds maybe? 1 second? I don't know. You also fight that guy, the Brain Golem in Gradius 2, which is interesting. Like I said, they recycle some of the bosses in this game from Gradius 2. But the difference between this game and Gradius 2 is this game switches to vertical mode, which is a cool touch. Abadox also does this, a game that I covered a couple years ago, did a 1cc of. So I kind of appreciate the shmups that switch the perspective on you. It just freshens it up, you know? So I always appreciated that Life Force did that, you know? And yeah, we got some sort of, this is, I guess, what we call the Volcano stage, because it's got some volcanoes that shoot rocks out of them, which is, I guess, what this stage is known for. What we always called it, the Volcano stage. I'm sure it has a real name, but since, you know, I'm gonna treat this game like I'm playing it as a kid, and like I didn't know the names of anything, we're just gonna keep innocent on that. I don't have the instruction manual in front of me. But here we go, here's the volcanoes. You can shoot it, you can kill them by hitting them in the tip like that. If you have the laser, it's easy. If you have any other weapon, it takes a lot longer. Here comes another volcano. I always go to the right, probably because I'm right-handed maybe, but I always take the right route. I don't know. I guess it's not easier because there's a volcano there too, so I don't know. I'm not sure which route is easier, but I always go to the right. Coming up right here is this is random. You see these asteroids here, these rocks that come at you? It's random every time, so you kind of have to just wing it and avoid them the best you can. If you shoot your weapon, it slows it down a little bit, you know, causing slowdown, which makes it a bit easier, but yeah, that was actually a pretty easy one. I've had ones where you really had to do some dodge work, you know, to get around them. These two are slightly random, the way they break up. You can say I almost get killed right here. I managed to slip around it. But, yeah, those used to get me all the time as a kid, if I recall. And continuing on, got more down this corridor. Again, I'm going to go to the right up here. And there's a couple guys to get power-ups with, if you need them. I don't need any more, but I get them just for fun. I like to try and keep my power-up on the shield, in case I lose my shield, but I don't always do it because I don't lose the shield that often in this game. I think I might have lost it once in this game. I'm not sure. We'll see when we get up to it, but overall, honestly, Life Force I don't think is that difficult of a game. Some people will think I'm crazy for saying that, but maybe it's just because I got 30 years of practice, but I think the game itself isn't that difficult, with the exception of the ending, which is just brutally insane. But anyway, come up to the boss here. You gotta shoot your way through these little doors here, and then the eyeballs appear, and you just shoot each one. If you got double laser, man, you kill it so fast. It's cake. You just gotta dodge their eyeballs and shoot them out. And now we have another recycled boss from Gradius 2. I don't recall the name. I apologize. Like I said, I'm not going for a totally accurate thing here. But this guy is in Gradius 2, slightly modified. He's horizontal in Gradius 2. He's vertical in this one, and I believe his arms are slightly different. But usually I can kill this guy on the first pass, but I missed him this time, which ticked me off. I was like, darn it! So I had to go around one more time to get him. But many times I was able to kill him on the first pass. You just shoot out those things and then shoot his eye. And if you really want to get daring, you can go up in that little gap right there and try and shoot him in the gap. I used to try and do that, but I didn't bother this time, because it's extremely risky. And now we have my favorite stage and my favorite music in this game, which is, most people that know this game will probably just call it the Solar Flare stage. Probably the most iconic stage in Life Force Salamander. We got these Firebirds coming up, which are also used in Gradius 2. Now, the first stage of Gradius 2 is similar to this stage in that there are flares, and it's kind of a sun-star themed level, you know? You're flying into a star, I'm assuming, of some sort, and the flares are coming up, and you get all these weird creatures. The strategy here, for me, is to stay near the bottom center, and if you position your options in the right spot, you can hit the guys that are coming up from the bottom. Your option will hit them, you know? You're about to have your first flare, I think right about here, coming up in a second. Yeah, right here at this part. Now, if you memorize where they are, it's not so bad, but for a long time I never had this memorized, but over the last week or so when I was practicing, I memorized where you need to, basically where you need to sit. And the bottom center, slightly to the front, is where I usually hang out, and you can see I got pretty good at avoiding those flares. Yeah, like I said, the trick to this stage is just to, for me anyway, I guess you could do the same thing at the top if you wanted, but for me I like to stay at the bottom, you know? Stay in the bottom center, slightly to the front, and see, I can usually just sit in a spot and the flares just flare right over me, or under me. You got these little dragons that come up. I mean, with double laser, you just, everything dies so fast. And you'll notice some flares flare once, and then there's other flares that just keep flaring indefinitely. So, you can memorize which ones do which, so you remember where they, you know, which ones are going to only flare once and which ones are going to surprise you and flare more than once. This stage is very chaotic in two-player mode. It's really hard to gauge what's going on and try and keep focus on you know, where the flares are, where the enemies are. It becomes it's fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's also quite a challenge in two-player mode. This game is infinitely more harder in two-player mode, just simply because there's so much more going on the screen. You can see here's another dragon. These dragons are just cake when you've got this. Yep, here come the continuing flares. We got another one coming up here on the bottom. Yep. I believe that's the last one. I think I got a dragon coming up here, and then that's the end of the stage. Yep, right there. Look at how fast I killed him with those lasers. You can see I'm dancing because that stage gave me a little trouble here and there. Just got hit by a lot of guys coming out of the fire. Now we have the dragon boss. I don't know what his name is. I'm sure he has a name. I just call him the dragon because he is quite obviously a dragon. He'll die in about 5-6 seconds, I guess, usually, and takes a little bit longer than a few of the other guys, but still incredibly quick. You shoot him in the face. That's it. I remember as a kid fighting a lot of these guys with the pea shooters because you can use the Konami code in this game, obviously, and get 30 lives. And we would just go burn through all our lives, hitting all these, you know, hitting everything in sight, and just being stuck with the pea shooter through a lot of the game, you know. And so you'd have to fight these bosses with a crappy weapon. But man, I'm telling you, with double laser, it's ridiculous. So this is switch back to vertical again, and what I like to call the body stage, which is you're entering, I'm guessing, through the butthole, I would guess, of something. I don't know if these are like clots in here. I can see blood cells, but I'm just gonna say we're entering the butt, and then through the intestines up here, which is the only way I can explain it to you. You get going through the intestines here. I guess you could call it a brain, but we're heading through the intestinal tract. And whatever these are, I don't know, white blood cells maybe. And this is the first speed zone of the game right here. There are a couple. This is the first. And yeah, you gotta memorize it and, you know, stay out of the way of the wall. I'm grabbing the power-ups just for fun. Shooting the blood cells. Yeah, it's another part that gave us trouble as kids, I recall, especially in two-player mode. One person always seemed to die and you'd fight over the power-ups, you know. It's funny. Alright, made it through the intestines, up through the butthole. Now, I don't know what these are, but I let one of them explode here just so you can see. This one right here. They shoot out something, but if you kill them quick enough, they don't shoot anything. So I let that one do that on purpose just so people could see that they actually do shoot something. But I don't know what these are supposed to be. I'm sure there's some sort of anatomy that I don't know about. But yeah, we're just gonna say we're still in the intestinal tract here, moving our way up, maybe to the stomach. Or maybe we'll say that's the stomach. Working our way up, and now I want to say that we're heading to the brain now, because we have this. I don't know. You'll see. We have this area here where these squiggly things close in on you. It's best just to stay at the back of the screen, otherwise you'll get killed instantly. If you stay at the back, let them go to shoot through them. Yeah, here. I always thought these were like neurons firing in the brain. You know, I mean, I can't think of what else they would be. So you could just say that we're up near the head now. And we're killing the neurons, I guess. If I sound like an idiot, just let me know. But yeah, kill the neurons in the brain, I guess. Yeah, okay, we're in the brain now. We'll just say we're in the brain. Except there's a rib cage coming up, so that doesn't really make sense either. Whatever. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sense of this. Yeah, we get the second power-up part here. I guess I do grab them all this time, just for fun. Alright, now we got the rib cage. This part's a little tricky. Going up through the rib cage, it shoots lasers at you from the sides, so you want to avoid those. Now it has these little shrimp-like things. Now if you can shoot these things... Ooh, man, that's close. If you can shoot these things right as they're coming down through the screen, it'll shoot them up out of the screen and they'll disappear. So I think I do it once right here. Watch, right there. See, it just disappeared. So you just got to avoid those. When you shoot them once, then they break up into other ones. So you can see you have to avoid those. You can also see that I lost my shield right there. I think I lost my shield. It's hard to tell from the flicker, but... Alright. Now we are on to the skull boss, who's just ahead with eyeballs. The eyeballs come out, but I kill him really before he has a chance to do much of anything, because, again, double laser just destroys everything. Alright, we come to my second favorite stage, which is the longest stage in the game, I think. Sure seems like it anyway. This is a two-part stage. The beginning here is just kind of in a cave. Great freaking music. Probably, honestly, the best track in the game. Even though I said I like Stage 3's music the best, this is probably the most iconic. I think I've seen the most guitar covers of this music in the game. You know, on YouTube, people covering this on guitar and things. Just a really epic song. This is kind of a unique little stage here. I don't know what it's supposed to be. You're in a cave and you're avoiding all kinds of different obstacles. Not sure what those are supposed to be. And we get some more power-ups here. Another thing you should know about Life Force is you will die if you hit any of the walls or any objects you see. Even with a shield, if you hit them, you're dead automatically. So the only thing that the shield really protects you against is bullets. I think certain enemies it does, but most enemies, at least some enemies, and any walls you hit, you're gonna die instantly. So yeah, you can see my missiles. The missiles are invaluable in this game, just for taking out everything. It's just crazy. Yeah, we got these little, I don't know what these little helmet dudes. I always call them the helmets. They come out of these little things in the wall right there. You can see them. They come out of those things. You can blow them up so they stop coming out. Yeah, you got a bunch of them coming up behind you. Best thing to do is let them all group in the middle and then just go around them. Otherwise they'll follow you, because they kind of follow you around. And now we come up to another, well, after the stalactites falling on you. I think I get hit a few times. I got hit right there. I guess these things don't take your shield away. But yeah, best thing to do here is just watch them. Use your missiles if you can to take them out. Missiles do a pretty good job. But coming up right here is a mini-boss. Really the only mini-boss in the game. And it's another Gradius staple. You'll know it's got the music. I believe it's the... What is it? This guy, the Mark 1 or whatever, Mark 2. I can't remember the exact name. But you fight 3 of them, and normally it's a little harder than that when you have, you know, a slightly less good weapon. But I killed him pretty fast. It had that familiar music, same music you hear in Gradius. Yeah, big core. It's a big core Mark 1 or whatever. That's what they're called. Something like that. I sound like I don't know anything about Gradius. I really do. I promise. Now we come to the Egyptian part of the stage here, which is the second half, which I always found odd, but I mean, I love it. I love the Egyptian theme. Just totally random, but interesting that the second half of the stage just went into it. Like we're in a hidden temple, I guess. Now we come to the acrobatic shmupping part here, one of the acrobatic parts where you're just shifting in and out of these poles. Not too bad. It's a little tricky, but once you know it, it's not bad. And the rest of this is kind of a narrow corridors you're going through here. Lots of power-ups hidden inside here, if you need them. If you're going for 1cc like me, you won't need them, but if you're just playing for fun, lots of power-ups to be had in here. Great for two-player mode, the fight for these power-ups. Got little hieroglyphics all over the walls, which I never really noticed when I was a kid, probably because playing this game through a CRT, you can't really see as much. You can't see as many details. I'm sure some people will hate me for that statement, but you can keep your CRT. I like my Framemeister, thank you. Yeah, you can see all the power-ups hidden in these walls. Pretty cool. I think I grabbed these two here just to get back around to my shield, even though I don't need it at the moment. Take out those last guys, and we are on to the boss. Which is King Tut, I believe. At least King Tut's head. Yeah, this takes forever. You'll see the walls start caving in. Which I remember in two-player mode and as kids playing this part and being a little scared, but you know, I'll wait here till the last one and be like, zoop, get out of there. But yeah, we gotta wait for King Tut to awaken, I guess. That's what's going on here. La 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 la. Let's go. Come on. Almost there. Almost there. Do the dance while we're waiting. Alright. King Tut has awoken. Got his little spinny balls around him. And same, yeah, like most things, shoot him in the eye, you know? He just, I believe he starts moving if you don't kill him fast enough. He moves forward and then moves all over the place, but like I said, that guy I think takes me the longest of any of them, but just shoot him right dead in the face, man. And with a weapon like that, piece of cake. And we're on to the final stage. The game's kind of short. I kind of wish there was twice as many stages on this, but I think Gradius 2 had more stages, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Gradius 2 basically Gradius 2 was this game on steroids. Even with all my nostalgia attached to this game, I think Gradius 2 is a much better game overall. Obviously, it doesn't have the co-op mode. Co-op is a huge bonus on this, but if you're looking just for a purely good shmup, Gradius 2 is better, I think. But this game is still, it's a timeless classic. It's still fun to play today, you know? This stage is a little hairy, as you can see. Luckily, there's a little bit of slowdown, so that helps with all this stuff flying at you. You just gotta dodge it to the best you can, and shoot as many as you can. Ripple is actually much better for this part, because it spreads out, but small price to pay for laser, for the benefits of having laser. Those little red things, I mean those little fireball things, they kind of pop up on the sides, and you gotta be really careful, or they'll go right through your shield and kill you. Just memorize where they are. Yeah, the trick here is to stay in the center. This whole stage, basically, just stay in the center as much as you can. And here we got some bullet guys on the wall. Just shoot them and go straight back, and you can dodge the bullets. We got some, yeah, a few more of these little flares and some more of these little helmet guys. And you can see some other recycled sprites here from Gradius 2. The background here was used in Gradius 2, and I believe the sides, the sprites on the sides too. All Gradius stuff that was in Gradius 2. I feel like they scraped the cutting room floor of Gradius 2 and they made this game. I think that's kind of what they did. Here's some... Those things actually shoot out at you, but I killed them so fast that you didn't get to see them. They're little missiles that come out. Now we're on to the other Gradius staple, which is Easter Island heads. Moai heads. I call them Easter Island heads, because they're the ones you see on Easter Island, that mysterious island in the Pacific. So, you always get a good dose of Moai heads in every Gradius game. A Gradius-type game. Taking them out. Shoot them in the mouth. That simple. Again. Not to sound like a broken record, but with laser. And you know what, I guess you consider these a mini-boss. I don't know if you consider this a mini-boss or not, but if you want to call it a mini-boss, just a couple of Moai heads that actually jump around. Nothing too special there. Now we got, got some more Moai heads. And that's about it. You get to the boss after this. Final boss. Yep, and then we got a little bit of a wait here until we get to the end boss, because this game likes to make you wait. Yep, the suspense. Yeah. I really wish they didn't make you wait so long, but I guess they wanted to extend. I mean, this game only takes about 25 minutes to beat, so they wanted to extend it a little bit longer. Now here's another recycled guy from Gradius too. I forget what he's called, but this big Mars ball. Let's call him Mars. He is he's in a boss rush in Gradius too. Except he doesn't have a snake going around him like it does in this, but you kill the snake, and I did it so fast. You kill the snake, and then you kill the center eye, and just piece of cake, man. Just a pushover when you're fully powered up. Not such a pushover when you're not powered up, but here we go. This is the part of the game where the game goes from what I consider a fairly straightforward and easy shmup to brutally difficult. This part, I can't tell you how many times I made it to this part and died and had to start over. And basically, yeah, it's a rush, and a rush with bars that pop out of the walls you have to dodge. And yeah, it gets really fast, and you have to dodge them perfectly. And you'll see me just thread the needle here in a couple little spots, like right there. Look how close that was. It's ridiculous. And there we go. We're out. And that's it. That's Life Force. Wow. And there's no ending, really. That's the ending. That's it. No sort of credits, nothing. It's just the end screen with the Konami logo. And there we go. That was Life Force, everyone. It was fun. Fun to play through it. I've enjoyed this game, like I said, for 30 years now, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it for 30 more, because it's kind of a timeless game. It's aged well, I think. It's accessible. It's difficult, but even with, you put in the code and you can have fun playing it, you know? I enjoy it a lot. I still enjoy it to this day. And what more can I say about Life Force? There it is. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. SHMUP Master signing off.